vision possible for your life because you become what you believe.
Dig deep down and ask yourselves, who do you want to be?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Majitana Mwana, welcome to it. It's In the Game with Mpixo P, the greatest on Freestyle Online Network. Yes, it's yet another exciting episode to offer In the Game with lots and lots of sports, taking place throughout the world. Look, the Euros are one that has our attention. I know those who are betting, the punters, if they put it that way. If I put it that way, they are busy, Papa. They're making their money. Others are losing their money. There's two ways. But anyway, I'm quite excited with what I've seen in the last 16, but I can tell you about two matches that I'm definitely looking forward to. As far as the quarterfinals are concerned, Spain will be taking on Germany on Friday at 6 o'clock. Meanwhile, Portugal will be up against France. These are the two biggest games that we are going to see. Imagine if this was a semi-final. But on a sad note, South Africa lost out by 7 runs to India in the T20 World Cup there. We were so close, yet so far. But we got that silver medal. It's okay. We can take that. We appreciate that. But listen, if you are one person that has got a lot of adrenaline, this conversation is for you, because we're talking spinning and drifting, and I've got the best in bloom. I can tell you, even in the free state, I'm putting my head on the block because I've never seen anyone do it like he does it. Mpixo is in the house, and I can tell you now, you know the name Team Sia. Mpixo, welcome to In the Game, and thank you so much for coming through.
Brother, thank you for having me here.
Look, I'm quite excited. The newly appointed, Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, giving you guys the recognition and saying, look, we're going to prove to South Africa, we're going to prove to the world that spinning, drifting, stance, there's no crime in it. It's actually sports. How do you feel about that big announcement that he made?
Ish, my brother. To put it the right way, I'm overwhelmed by that. And these great news from the minister came at the right moment on my birthday. So for me, it was more than just news. It was a birthday present.
Yeah.
I mean, we have honestly fought very hard for the sport. We have tried to change the mindset of our people, and at last, the game has been recognized, and that's an achievement beyond.
Talking about the game being recognized, there's probably somebody who's such a big fan of Team Sia, and they're wondering, like, how long have you been doing this, and where did it start?
I started 20. You must remember, I was first a stuntman for the General Mass. So I started being part of spinning since the year 2011, as a stuntman, and then the Team Sia brand kicked off around 2015. And since then, I have become a spinner myself, took over the wheel, and in all honesty, it's been a great journey.
And talking about, how long you've been, if you can briefly give to somebody who's Sia Mboxwane, as a form of introduction to somebody that wants to be a new fan now, who don't know who's Team Sia or who's Sia.
My name is Sia Mboxwane. I am born and raised right here in the city of Mangaung, affectionately known as Team Sia in the spinning and drifting fraternity at large, so yeah, ke ngwana pereng
In Bloom, even if you're not a Celtic fan, but anyway, by virtue of coming from Bloom.
Yeah.
Now, since 2015, you've been doing this, right?
Yeah.
How has it been for you? Like, what have been the challenges, and what has been like the positives that you can say you've taken, out of this career?
Hey, my bro. Every time I speak of this journey, it's a bit emotional and very exciting at the same time, because with the minimal resources we have, Mokasi, it was quite a struggle, Like I said, we took over from the legends Bomasi back then, and we tried to lift the game to higher mileage, if I may put it that way, higher grounds, and so far it's been good. With God by my side, I have managed to pull strings that I never thought I would pull. You know, like I said, I get a ground, and you get to compete with people banan lady ground, and you know who are more familiar with the sport. But by the grace of God, I ended up being part of great competitions. I've represented my province, you know, on provincial and both national level as well, until I found myself being part of the national selected squad that competes in the Red Bull Shine Water.
But as a form of preparation, you know, before Olospina, how much practice do you need? How much practice do you go through? I'm thinking about it because you just spoke about not having grounds, and I can imagine, you know, you try to do new stunts, you try to do, you know, when you're hosting an event, so that we see new things. We don't see the same Sia every time there's a show coming, because obviously people will get bored.
It's true.
You know, how much practice do you need to put in, and how difficult it is to get an opportunity to practice since you don't have a ground?
My brother, in all honesty, it gets to be a challenge at times. But then, with the love one gets from the community, you know, there are certain areas Takasi where the community themselves, even the business owners study private sector, they allow me, you understand, a few minutes on their property just to practice one or two moves, you know, every now and then. That's where I usually go and say, I'm in my own space. I'm trying new stunts for the people. Because when it gets tough and people always want to see you on top form. So you need to put a lot of effort into practice, because it's risky at the same time. Like, you know, running and jumping out of moving car, doing stunts, trying to keep the crowd on their feet and in their voices. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Is it? I always wonder if it's not really scary though to. I'll look at the stuntsman particularly, you know. So when you practice with your stuntsman, because hey, when I'm how good are you like? You know?
Yeah, no. Whatever your important to land. Yeah, it's very important to take him with you, because that's how you guys connect. They are able to study your moves, and they know what ways are ain't gonna be fair. So when is the right time for him to jump out, and when is the right time for him to come back in the car? You understand? Let myself, I need to move in a sequence that's comfortable for him, because then I go now before I need to swerve the other way so that he can actually find grip again. So such things, they're important. So higher practice, we do it together. There's a time Nana fellas are to work, so he needs to know I get a socket, and then you're not done Salamura, he goes first, I'll follow. You understand? Like for instance, this move I make, from my seat to the window, through the window to the engine, and then I stand on that engine while it's running. So that's really interesting.
Yeah. Look, I also want to talk about something, but we'll touch on it just after the break. You know, because I would see at events, you guys will decide to drift together, and I'm like, when did these guys practice? We were just told that there's other guys from Cape Town. But look, we're going to talk about that when we come back from the break. We're going to talk about that and more with Tim Sia, because he did some wonderful shows that I enjoyed this year. He was at the showgrounds. He was also at Bochabela there by the arena doing his things there. Look, we're going to talk about that when we come back up from the break. For now, let's go to the break. Ayo.
Dig deep down, ask yourselves, who do you want to be?
Create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life, because
welcome back to In the Game with Mpixo, the greatest, and we still have Tim Sia in the house. And earlier on we were talking about, you know, practice and sessions and all of that, and particularly with his sons, man, you know, and he was telling us the challenges, you know, that they go through, and also the exciting moments. And part of what I want to talk about now is these exciting moments, because I saw you doing it at the showgrounds. That must have been big.
Brother, that was. I still can't explain it. Personally, for me, it's been what I've always wanted to achieve. I mean, the Bloom Show movement, and I always say it's God's grace because there's minimal resources for spinning, but Team Sia was recognized by the Bloom Show committee, and I formed part of the Bloom Show annual movement, which is something beyond for the brand itself. You know, being recognized at that level, it shows, or really, one has really been putting a lot of effort. Yeah. So with that being said, is that it's the Bloom Show, and then of course I was part of the Val Championships in Johannesburg, the Port Elizabeth spin competition, winning the drive of the day, you know.
Yeah.
Such achievements always humble me, and being part of the Red Bull SA Championship.
Yeah.
I always refer to that as one of the biggest platforms of spinning. You know, it's every spinner's dream to form part of that.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Trust me, it's not easy.
Look, but you also have your own events that you do, Mokasi, and what is the joy of having people come through and support? You know, 16th of June now, you had one Kobochabe Lada, and it was packed. I'm like, yo, you know, people just came through and came to support spinning.
My brother, I always say, I believe I earned respect from the community. I earned the love that they're showing me right now from the community. And, you know, when they voted me in the national squad, you know, in the national competition, I told myself that my people deserve to be recognized. And by recognizing them, they deserve my efforts, and which is why I started the Team Sia Spin Explosion movement. It's an annual event that takes part, which is where I gather all the spin fanatics, including the spinners from as far as Cape Town, Limpopo, Johannesburg, Lesotho, our neighbor country. You know, to come and actually enjoy the day with us, and for our people to actually meet these spinners that they see on national television. Live, but this is the people's team that they support, which is Team Sia.
And you know, talking about that, earlier on I touched on you guys meeting at the event, and you all will drift.
Yeah.
In the same, you know, space together. With guys like that, how do you then do it? How do you then, you know, decide, or you know what, I can spin Mpixo today.
Yeah.
Again, at that time, Mpixo was from Johannesburg, and you've never, you know, spin together. How does that work? Do you have to be really that brave to do something like that? It's
it's not really being brave. It's a matter of trust. We always select a spinner that you trust, a spinner that you follow, a spinner that understands your way of spinning, and that you also understand his way of spinning. And it becomes easy. You understand? Because all we do is, say, are you ready? Let's give them a show. Okay, then we talk. Okay, and side to side. You know, we'll swap cars, etc., etc. But now, as spinners, we are able to study and check one another out, and then do these moves at the right time. Because Team Sia Team Sia, then busy. And those moments are actually moments that people love, because, like you said, they just wonder, now, when did these guys meet?
Yeah.
But because we know that the particular spinner has done it before, and you've seen him do it, and he has seen you do it, so it becomes easy.
Look, talking about these guys that it becomes easy to spin with, some of your favorite, you know, I know this is an unfair question, you know, I'm trying to think how many spinners are out there. With your shows, there's a guy from Lesotho, I think his name is Seisa, something like that. Like I'm his fan, you know, and I've seen him through you. But some of your favorite spinners that you have, that you can say, you know, look out for these guys. These are the guys that, you know, I'm such a fan of?
Ish, my bro. My brother, I want to think that not about but it's very nice to see such talent come out of Lesotho. And Bosisa, he's a quality spinner, make no mistake. That man is quality. Yeah, that man brings you straight, nothing but entertainment. So you by your side, you don't even think twice. It's either we do it or we just move. So those are the kind of people that we associate ourselves with. Eddie Rasta. If you know, my people will tell you that.
What car is that? What car is that? Eddie
It's a
Rasta
Ford Cortina.
Oh yeah.
And my people will tell you my relationship with that man is something else. That's why if you check most of my videos, I always pair with him. In every competition, I want myself near him because he's able to just make you comfortable, you know? I remember on national level, he was actually the one that said to me, you know what's here, stress you. Take it easy, have a Red Bull, calm down. Just do you. Forget about everything else, focus on your car and do you. And you know what he did? My stuntman had to move out of the car. He became my stuntman just to keep me at ease. And I've always respected him since that day. Yeah. So yeah.
But how beneficial are relationships like that? Look, as much as we know about spinning and drifting, you won't look at it like a popular sport per se. You know, when you look at football, that football is in everybody's tongue, you know.
Yeah.
So therefore, relationships like that would be very important. How important it is to have somebody that you know is always, you know, in your support full time.
My bro, relationship Yarona is very, 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 very important. I'm going to make you an example of Eddie Rasta himself. When my car went for an upgrade in Cape Town, Eddie Rasta was the one that managed the whole process. You know, as I shifted from a BMW engine and my car was converted into a VQ35, I've only seen the engine on Tokyo Drift. And they made means of planting that heart inside Sponon. And till today, it's been running. So a relationship in spinning is important in a sense where you need to have trust in your fellow competitors. You need to have trust in your fellow brothers. One must be able to say, I can always run to this man when I have trouble on the ground. You understand? At a venue of spinning itself, you need such people. So relationships are important in such a way. For you to move, you need to connect with people.
Look, I like the fact that you touched on, you know, the car being upgraded, and I want us to take a break. When we come back, technicalities of being in this game. You know, I believe it's a technical sport, you know. And there's a lot of cost that comes with it, you know. And people just come and enjoy the show without thinking, for Spono to be the way. Let's take a break. When we come back, and we definitely going to chat more about, you know, the technicalities as well as Spono. I don't know if Spono is a she or a he. But he'll tell us when you come back. Ayo.
Deep down, ask yourselves, who do you want to be?
Create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life, because
welcome back to In the Game on Free State Online Network. I'm Mpixo P, the greatest, and you know how it is, man. We still have Team Sia in the house, you know, chatting all things spinning and drifting. Brasia, look, you know, we enjoy the game. We are not as close as you are to the game, you know. How expensive is it to actually like be part of this game?
Yo, my bro. Spinning, as fun as it seems, you know, as overwhelming as it may look to our people, it comes with a lot of cost. It comes honestly with a lot of cost in a sense already. maintaining this car is not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why you need sponsors, to form part of the game. With these private sectors that have been supporting me, it's really, really, really been tough, but it's been worth every second. And there's a lot of money invested in us because, like Kusalo says, modifying Sponono from a straight 6 BMW engine into a VQ35 with management swaps and diff lock upgrades, gearboxes. So you can just imagine by only those that I've mentioned or now, more. Let's see all these tires. I remember there was a time I feel a spinning. I don't want to lie to you. I was from an event and then Majita, no, after party, what? And then I was like, for the idea, and then we give the last sponsor to him. After party guy, I'd like to go pop a few tires, and he was like, hi. Can I not no, okay, no, it's fine. And I also let up on hey, never feel it to get tire and but it comes with a lot of cost. Yeah, it's not easy, and we always try and make it look as if it's fun and games, yes, but there's cost involved because you can't use a standard car to perform all these stunts that we do. That's why we always tell people, do not try this at home. There are buttons and remotes installed in these cars. You understand? To do the things that we're doing. Yeah, as I fella you had to upgrade certain things on the car for it to be in spin perfect condition. Let me put it that way.
Look, for one show, just to do one show, approximately how many tires do you need? I'm thinking, Team Sia Spin Explosion, all these cars are coming, and you need to organize tires for all the spinners to be able to. How many tires are long?
My bro, the event is but if we got the most recent one we just had, we had to organize around 180 tires that were used in one day, which is that Sunday.
Yeah.
So as we travel across the country, I've attended a show where we used almost 300 tires, but you had like 30 spin cars, Yeah. So there's a lot of tires that we use at a spin event. Yeah. So maybe with La Rana, only one, you will run a set of 8. Yes.
Is it a must that when you spin, you have to blow the tires though? Because I've seen a culture of spinners trying to force, you'll be like, this spinner, particularly the ones you can see, this one is not yet at the highest level of performing, professionals, you can see, it's not hard to pop a tire. I take it that way. When it comes back, one tire will go. But you'll see with the cherished ones, you'll see a guy going, trying to pop this tire. But it's just like, is it a must to pop a tire though?
It has become such a great part of our culture to actually pop those tires.
Yeah.
But Warona, they love the sound of that. And go Varane, it's at that time when the tire pops that you now full into this.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is when you now keep going. Yeah. But it's part of us. Yeah. We love it. But
but in your career, how many tires do you think you have popped since 2015? You can count.
My bro, thousands of tires. Thousands, not 3,000, not 6,000. Like, we've run through. I don't know over precise. Mare. No. Like
a lot.
Too much.
Yes. Because I can imagine when you practice. I can imagine when you're on a show and the number of shows you've been to,
I won. So that's why I get it. And there are times when you run out of tires that you borrow tires from your fellow competitors.
Phew.
What's the dija fatshe? And about what?
So when you go to a competition event,
Yes.
you carry your tires, or you get to the competition, they've already organized tires. Because I know maybe when you organize events,
Yeah.
you most definitely might, as part of the deal, say, I'll get you tires.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you don't want somebody to be expensive.
No, exactly.
But when you go to competitions, how does it work?
When you're going for spinning shows, the organizers play a part in organizing tires for their guests, even though we come with tires. But when you go for competitions, it's a total different game. You must remember, with competition, as soon as your tire pops, you need to stop. So there's a time frame given. So if tire tsa fela before nako eo, it means o tla bo fitile nako e nngwe. So you need to have good condition tires. So that's when you bring your own tires. That's when you go buy tires. Now we use brand new tires. Yeah, because you want them to last you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah. you need these tires to last you and complete the course.
Yeah.
Because they with competitions, for butterfly and obstacle course. So you need to run through all those obstacles to play about fillets on, and your tires must not run out.
Yeah. Yes, I can imagine. Look, as my sort of like final question to you.
Yeah.
In the future, what do you see of spinning and drifting in South Africa, just before we get to the whole world? And two, what advice would you give to young spinners and spinners that wants to get into the game?
As we all have realized and seen on television and social media platforms, spinning is currently one of our biggest sports codes that's growing like blind. So with that being said, I am actually happy to see spinning where it is today. Like I said earlier, that the minister even recognized spinning and would love to actually create more platforms for spinning. So we as spinners are actually overwhelmed by that, because it shows you that we've been fighting all these years, you understand, putting all this effort, and finally spinning has been recognized. So it means that the future of spinning is now in good hands. You understand? It's now all up to the upcoming spinners, the next generation, to take from us and actually enjoy these foods that we fought for. Because Lerona self recently from legends back then, do you understand? And we have actually tried our level best to get it where it is today. And with that being said, is that we are happy to see spinning where it is. That we have spinning grounds today. We have spin competitions across the country, and I would say to our upcoming spinners that believe in what you want. Never stop believing. If you believe that you want to be part of spinning and you will achieve in spinning, push and keep pushing. Because later now we were pushing, hoping that it be recognized. And today, 2024, spinning is recognized nationally. You understand?
Yeah.
So yeah, all as spinners. Like, in all honesty, I personally, when I speak for myself, I fought so hard to represent my province, and with God by my side, I have managed to represent it on national level as well. So Mangaung will definitely fall under one of those cities that will have proper spin grounds, and enjoy.
Basia, thank you so much for taking your time and being with us today. We really appreciate you, and we wish you all the best going forward, with your spinning and drifting career.
No, thank you, my brother, for having me here.
Yeah.
To many greater heights.
No, definitely. That is Brasia Mboxwane, Team Sia, if you know. Kena, Mutaukusha Spono. I forgot to ask, actually. Is Spono here or she?
Sponono is my baby. Sponono is the people's car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, back comfortable, they make it a he.
Okay.
Back comfortable, they prefer a G and she.
Okay.
So, kiss Sponono, it ends there.
We could kiss on it ends there. Put it however way you feel comfortable with it. But as always, I don't leave the show without saying this: to whom much is given, much is expected, and to whom much is expected, much is required. Every champion that is a champion today was once a contender who refused to give up. I'm Mpixo, the greatest for Free State Online Network. God willing, I'll see you next time. Ayob.